So listen, you're going to talk about discounting versus free today.
I am.
I can't wait to unpack this.
So Anthony, you've ran restaurants, you've been there, you've done it, you've done some front of the house, most of the back of the house. Mm-hmm. You're an established restaurateur. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, fair. You're more of an operations manager. I haven't really breached ownership, but that's okay.
But when I say discounting versus free, and you had to pick one as an operator in your business, where do you gravitate to first? Give me your blank.
Imagine a perfect world where you can build a restaurant, open the doors, and make loads of money. Unfortunately, those days are over. It takes great leadership, hard work, and long hours to operate a successful restaurant. Together, we can make it happen. This is Restauranttopia.
Okay,
don't think about it too much.
I'm going to fall into your trap, and I'm going to say discounting.
Okay, that would be my trap.
I know, it was your trap. It's a great question because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you this story?
I don't know.
So I want to sidebar 1 second. We opened a restaurant in New Philadelphia, Ohio, in Hee Haw country. I say that with love. I'm from there.
Very dense population.
Oh, yes. By dense, you mean sparse? Yes.
Heavy sarcasm.
Yeah, absolutely. So we took over an old space and we rehabbed it. And I went in there and this place had gone out of business. And I was wondering, why did they go out of business? It's a good location right next to a hotel and the food was, spot on. And I walked back to the back and they had their special board laying in one of the old walk-in coolers. And it said Tuesday special, $2 off anything on the menu.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah. That has never left me.
Wow.
Never left me.
Everything on the menu.
Everything on the menu.
Wow.
I thought, what an ill-conceived daily special, right? Yeah. But it just shows sometimes.
No, I love the ones that sometimes you'll see it with bar business. They'll be like $1 off all domestic drafts, or worse, they'll go $1 off everything but these 3 things.
Yeah, right. But these things are special, right? This is exactly what we're going to talk about today, if I had to guess.
Yeah, we're going to get there. Yeah,
all right, cool.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
Take me on the ride, brother.
So I think that most restaurateurs, again, are going to think of discounting over giving away for free because you see it in the actions of restaurants all the time.
Yeah,
so,
well, it's obvious because you want to bring some money in.
Yeah, so you go in and let's say you have a not so great experience or something happens and that's detrimental to the dining experience at a decent level, like that, that you probably should get the meal.
I need indemnified.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But they give you the free dessert. Or they take off the appetizer, or they say, you know what, the drinks are on.
Is this episode about that? Because
it's not. But I'm just giving the mentality towards there's a little bit of cheapness in the industry.
Yeah. No,
right?
but that's what I want to talk about. That could be an episode all by itself.
Oh, for sure.
Because you just throw gas on the fire at that point, right? Like, wait, you kicked my dog, and you're only going to give me a free dessert?
Right.
Come on, man.
So I go back and I think what are we trying to do in this business? Now, certain concepts, certain parts of our industry have done discounting well, and it makes sense. Okay. Pizza is the first one that comes to mind. I think there's a national chain called, Father Jonathon, I think. That, when I was in college.
I'll be honest, that didn't hit me right away. I processed that for about 30 seconds. So they're finally like, oh, yeah, that was clever, buddy.
When I was in college and had kind of a meager income, and I think they just started online ordering. They were the first ones to do online ordering. I don't know.
I got it on the brain now.
I would look through, they would have their coupons and I would look for the deal and I would figure that out. And I got addicted as a consumer to the deal, to the discount. Okay? Yeah. Well, the more you do discounts in your restaurant, the more the consumer is going to be addicted to that deal. Mm-hmm. And not only your deals, but what's the deal across the street? What's the deal across town? What's the deal down the road? So what you end up doing is you end up addicting your consumer to only patronizing you when there's a deal.
Yeah, you'd rather have them addicted to you.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Not the deal. Yeah.
So it's an expectation thing. Mm-hmm. So this whole episode really comes down to what's the expectations when you're discounting and what's the expectations when you're free.
I like expectations.
Because you do. I know
yeah.
So what's the expectation of free? So I give you something for free.
Yeah.
Are you expecting to get it free again sometime?
No.
Probably not.
No.
In fact, absolutely not. You're like, whoa. Yeah. Free? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a one-time deal.
Yeah.
Like anybody can quickly surmise that the business would never be in business if they just keep giving stuff away for free all the time.
But if I give you $2 off anything on the menu, every Tuesday, dude, I'm there.
I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it
every Tuesday.
Yeah, I see how you brought that around.
You're running 80% prime cost, and
Is that bad?
Not great.
Okay.
Tough to make money.
Yeah.
But again, you create a competitive environment when consumers are looking for that deal because they'll skip around town, they'll hop around. Where's the best deal?
Right.
Okay. And that becomes part of your identity and your organization. Now, it all depends on what you're doing. If you can do that and still figure out how to be profitable, and that becomes what you do, like cool.
Yeah, if you do like a volume predicated model or something like that, like I would advise against it. But everybody's got their own shtick, man, and you can make this work. But 9 times out of 10, you're absolutely correct.
No, and you only have so much profit to give away when you run a restaurant. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So again, if you're constantly doing the discount, unless you've inflated the price to discount it, which most people aren't doing. They've costed out that menu at 33%, and then they shaved it off the top.
Right.
You're going to struggle. One thing that I will say is that, discounting, if you do end up doing it, or if you do it, make sure you're getting something for it. So I look at it as like, are you discounting to collect data? Are you discounting to build your customer base and collect data and market to that customer base? Or are you trying to create loyalty? And I think you can do both. Okay. But I think loyalty is created through some strategy around free than it is around discounting. Okay. I think it was maybe John Taffer. I don't subscribe to everything he does, but he had this like 3 or 4 step process of like, hey, it's your first time here. The dinner was free, or the slab of ribs or whatever the example was. Okay, it's free. Obviously, they had a CRM. They had the ability to do it. They had a napkin system, so everybody knew like, okay, if the red napkin's there, they know this is a first time diner. And they all had it choreographed, or he had it choreographed at least in a way that made sense. And
I know what you're talking about.
It's because he talked about 4 visits, and you have a loyal consumer.
If you can get
basically.
them back in 4 times.
So he talked about the map to get them to 4 visits, and it was the first one was free. The second one was, hey, come in the second time and you get the free dessert. So now everybody knows when they come with the dessert coupon, this is a second time visitor. And then they would do maybe the appetizer, whatever it was. And so they had a path that was specific to know where that consumer was at in the process to get to 4 visits.
Yep. And I absolutely love that. It was a really calculated CRM, or customer relationship management tool, right? Yeah. And to his point, he's right. Like, because if you come into the restaurant 4 times, I've had a chance to develop a relationship with you. It's just a matter of getting you in there 4 times. Because I know if I get you in 4 times, I'm going to win you over. Yeah. You're going to love the food. You're going to love my people. You might even like me. But how do I get you in 4 times? I make you leave with a big, fat smile.
Every time.
Every time.
Yep. Oh, okay. So when you're discounting something, like, what are you getting in return? Like, I really think this is a weakness in the industry. Hopefully, it's making a comeback with some of the things we've done with Matt Plapp and some of the marketing, gurus we've had on this podcast. But are we getting the data, the customer data? Are we getting, the birthdays and the anniversaries and the names and do they have a family and all those different things, the emails and the text, the phone numbers to get the text messages out and all those things? Are we collecting that data? Because I think it's going to be paramount in the future success of a restaurant in our industry, because it's where it's going.
It's been there.
And listen, this is how every podcast episode starts. The days of just opening the doors and making loads of money, it's over. You know what I mean?
As Nico says.
Yeah.
As my son walks around quoting that all the time.
That's awesome.
He's probably our first download every week.
Yeah.
My daughter tells me, she goes, Dad, I listened to one of your podcasts. I said, really? How'd it go? This was just this morning. She goes, it was good, but it was boring. So I guess you have to be in restaurants. I said, really? You didn't think?
Plus, I thought there was 3 of you. There's only this one guy, and he was talking about lawyer stuff. He was talking sorry, Brian.
No, he's not.
It's fun, though. It's definitely fun.
Oh, my God.
This is totally 100% at your expense. Okay, so go back to just to reiterate, like, discounts become expectations of the customer. So they're only coming to you when you've got a deal, which doesn't sound fun or profitable.
Or loyal.
Yeah. Exactly. Because as soon as you stop doing the deal, they're going somewhere else to get the deal. It also has a perceived lower value, okay, when you're discounting something. Now,
how do you feel about free? Because sometimes the argument's made about free, right? When they say I'm giving it away for free, then you don't value it very much.
I don't know, because I think the expectation is this is a one-time thing. Like,
okay.
They
I guess
want
too,
you to try it, or they want to, like whatever it is,
And in our industry too, this isn't some tchotchke pen or a stress ball. This is the most delicious cheesecake you've ever had.
Hopefully.
So there's value there, right?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, hopefully you're not having a strategy meeting where, like, what is our crappiest dish? We're going to give it away for free. You know what I mean? Like, you would want to, give away for free the thing that's going to go, wow.
We did we had a good strategy. One restaurant we opened in a very unforgiving market, and it's hard opening a restaurant. So we just planned ahead, and we all met as managers, and we talked and said, okay, what happens when we run long ticket times? So every day we had our daily specials, and then we had our free item that wasn't announced, right? The servers knew about it. But when the table ran long or there was a blip in the service, the server would bring out, the chef wanted you to have this, right? So we had a little, queued up and, it's called an amuse, and they would have it might be a crostini with something awesome on it, or even like a soup shooter with this crazy garnish. So the servers could actually do it. And that way, because the cooks were bogged down, that was the whole point of this. And they would take something free out. And then how much time do you buy that way? And now the customer, instead of looking at their long ticket time, they're like, my God, they sent us something free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
And did you have that in the oops cooler?
Yeah, no, right. It was literally. No, we didn't have Noobs Cooler. I think that was full of Bud Lights with the browns. No, it was set up by the soup station where the servers had access to it, and they were able to put it together quickly. And it could be anything, it doesn't have to be. But to your point, this is another application of how you could apply something free to gain loyalty and value and kind of dissuade them from being pissed off.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that, and that segues right into like our next talking points is going to be, let's talk about free.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about it, because it could sound like I'm speaking out both sides of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
If you're telling me, restaurant isn't profitable enough to discount, then you're saying give away stuff for free.
Right.
Okay? Strategy, people. Strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Discounts, again, become expectations. Nobody's expecting to get that meal free the next time they come in, or the next, you know what I mean? Like, it's not an expectation. So it's one thing to create loyalty, to create somebody to come back, because most people, even like in your scenario, like maybe something goes wrong and you get it for free. You're potentially correcting that. But even if they were still frustrated that it took long, or they had a bad experience, whatever it was, like, at least they know you're human. You're like, you realize, like, you're accountable. You're like, this didn't go unnoticed.
And our motto was try to be preemptive in that approach.
Yeah.
Before the customer complain, let's get it out there. It's kind of like the baby and the pacifier thing. Let's distract them a little bit so they don't keep track of time. We slid an extra free course in there, so now we don't have to give away a 50% discount on their check, right?
Or somebody's like, really, they had a bad experience for whatever reason, because things happen in our industry that the service was bad, the food, whatever it was, hair was in the food, like whatever, all kinds of stuff happened. But I love the places that are like, well, we're going to give you a gift card for next time. Mm-hmm. Like, well, what if I don't want to come next time?
That's very presumptuous, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Like, what if I don't want to come next time? I feel like there's opportunities in there, in, again, strategic, whether it be something free on a wait time, but if it's really a bad experience, comp the freaking meal. I guarantee you're going to create, at the very least, better public relations, but probably loyalty to say that I'm going to give them another shot.
Yeah, again, you're disarming your critics.
Yeah,
right. Because what argument they have? These people messed up and they were accountable for it, and they indemnified me.
Yep.
So like, what criticism do I have? I don't have any. So it costs you money as an operator. There's no question about that, and it's painful.
Sure.
But I don't know. The problem should be the customers, right? The customer should probably get that for free if you had such an egregious lapse of service or hospitality.
Right.
Yeah, it's painful to give it away, but maybe you should look at your systems and processes rather than.
It's also long-term mentality versus short-term. Like short-term, you're like, oh, that let's say that meal all for 2 people, like, oh, that will cost of $40, let's say, or $35. That's what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Where you're like, what's $35 to have somebody come back?
Well, it's funny because we'll spend $35 on parking to go to the game and not think twice about it. Right.
So,
but God forbid we come to that table. And I know it's easy for us to speak on that for anybody listening out there. It's easy for us to speak on it because it's not our bank account. But when we really talk about objective perspective, that's how simple it should be.
Mm-hmm. No question. And I think, again, it comes long-term mentality versus short-term mentality. But also, I think in our industry, the great news about this is, like, not many people are doing it.
Yeah.
You're separating yourself from your competition by doing this as well. Yeah. And potentially creating, like I said, at the worst, good juju.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would tell you that
about that, though.
But I would tell you that if in that type of experience, you're going to create more loyalty.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
It's what we talked about in as far as customer experience is concerned. Like, anytime you have a grouchy customer, oftentimes we get annoyed because we're busy and we're tired of dealing with customers because we just deal with seas and seas of customers coming in, waves and waves, I should say. But when they get pissed off like that, what an opportunity to go do your song and dance. What an opportunity to go show them what type of person you are, how accountable you are, and how much you care about them. Yeah. Because I would argue it's hard for customers not to like you and not to appreciate you after you've bared your soul, been fully accountable, owned the mistake. There's a lot of honor and integrity in that, right? Yeah. A lot of likability.
Yeah. Yeah, so if I had to take 2 takeaways from this, it's going to be, the expectations of discounting versus free. Discounting as an expectation of I'm going to keep getting a discount. Free is an expectation of this just has a one-time deal. And also, discounting creates loyalty to discounting. Free potentially creates loyalty to the restaurant.
Yeah, I love all that.
So
I love all that.
That's what I got, buddy. That's a quick hitter.
No, and I appreciate that because it's such a notion. We oftentimes think, the easy way out is just to discount the entire menu by $1, right? But it's got to be more pointed and more strategic than that. And to go back to your CRM mantra of the 4-step process, like, you could build this into a strategy very easily. I also love when companies implore their employees. I think the Ritz-Carlton kind of started it, where the employees get a daily budget to give stuff away for free.
I love that too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. If I give my employees the autonomy, and we talk about they make decisions when you're not around, boy, that's an amazing decision.
Yes, you empower them to be able to make decisions, and if they're noticing, like if the server notices like this is not going well, and they don't have to go, hey, let me go get my manager.
Oh God,
and they can actually make that decision. Man, that's amazing.
And then the manager comes over 5 minutes later after you've had time to sit there and fester and stew and talk, about it and how bad.
So the server said, right,
I'm here to check the box and do nothing else.
Well, no, and it's almost like, so I'm over here to qualify the server's analysis of your shitty experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I saw that at a restaurant not too long ago. They recently went out of business, but the manager came over and argued with the customer. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking around like, you got 200 more customers.
Oof.
Why are you arguing?
This,
it was a single diner with one entree. Yeah. Why are you arguing? You don't know who this person is. You don't know what they're...
Nor what perception does that give to the rest of the people in the place.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I was sitting right next to it, and I got a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, and that's like just poor management, like poor table side manner.
Yeah.
Like the person didn't like it. They said there was something wrong with it. The manager tried to educate them a little bit, which I'm okay with. Mm-hmm. Oh, just so you know, ma'am, this is the way it is. And that's fine. You educate them. But then give them another entree. Take it off their bill. Do something like that. But this person was like, no, well, this is how it is, so we're not going to fix it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so she got up and left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no more entrees, no more nothing. They got zero money out of her. And it was like, you squandered an opportunity to build a relationship. Like, I just see this one customer. Again, you don't know how, maybe she was there scouting out a retirement party, birthday party, or some family gathering.
Well, and I think, again, we've dominated this episode with Josh Kopel, but I think he talked about an example of these ladies came for brunch. Mm-hmm. They didn't like anything.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, you don't like that. We're going to do this. And he tried 3-4 times in that brunch to make them things they didn't like, and they didn't like any of it.
Yeah.
But because of the effort he put into trying to get them to enjoy the experience, they came back on the weekend for dinner and loved it.
Crazy.
Rave reviews. You know what I mean? So some of those things, like sometimes it's just the effort, of putting it in.
Yeah.
Know, so.
And you could catch them on a bad day just as you can they can catch you on a bad day, right?
No question.
But yeah, I love this, man. And I love the notion of owning it. I love the accountability. Also, I hate discounts. I don't love discounts.
Good.
Yeah, good. I'd rather you just offer another menu item at a cheaper price if that's the direction you're going to go.
Thanks for playing along.
Yeah, well, it's great. Yeah. You led me down the right hole. So anyway, Dave, thank you so much, man. Again, amazingly helpful. Love your perspective. Thank you for putting this together. Outstanding stuff.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Have a great day, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's good, man.
Thanks, Anthony.
This is a high-quality pod. Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Adios.
Thank you for listening to Restaurantopia. The gratitude that we have for each and every one of you spending your precious time to listen to this podcast is immeasurable. Please make sure to tell a friend about this podcast. And also, if you have any feedback for us, visit us on restaurantopia.com and drop us a line. You can also subscribe on your favorite place to listen to podcasts. Thank you and have a great day.
Welcome to Restaurantopia. Welcome to Restaurantopia. Hopefully you're not a first-time listener, but just in case, I said welcome to instead of welcome back, Dave. Does that appease you?
I like it.
Yeah,
I think we can get on that.
Yeah, we just have to tell Brian when he's here next time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So sadly, without Brian for this topic, but I think we'll manage.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
We'll get through it.
He is kind of the backbone of this thing, right?
Yeah.
So we're just kind of flailing over here. Did you hit record?
I did.
All right, fantastic. Good.
I love it. I love that he's got to edit that out of 3 episodes. Did you hit record?
Yeah, well, listen, we're not going to do that again, right? It's funny to me, so I'm sorry.
We are excited to announce the Restaurantopia VIP Text Club. Join by texting the word podcast to 844-928-4257. You will get access to exclusive content, industry news, deals, announcements, pro tips, and more. The VIP Text Club is an exclusive community of independent restaurant owners and professionals. Join today. Message and data rates may apply. Please check our website for our terms of service and privacy policy. We also want to thank our sponsor, Hillcrest Food Service. If you are a local independent restaurant and are looking for a distributor who has chef and operational consulting, provides marketing support, does menu reviews, and most importantly, wants you to be successful, reach out to Hillcrest Food Service at hillcrestfoods.com.